time to take two because I just recorded this entire video and I didn't even hit the record button. Anyway, I'm Johnny Phantom. Welcome to my channel where I talk about all things fandom, such as Harry Potter, Star Wars, One Piece, you name it. We're going to talk about it. And yes, you probably noticed I don't have a beard anymore. Oh well. Anyway, let's get right into it because today we're going to talk about none other than One Piece and the theory that has been buzzing across the internet like crazy. And I even thought of this the first time I read the recent chapter, which came out today as of recording this video, but yesterday as you guys are watching this video. Anyway, I thought the same thing that everybody else thought. Imu Sama is none other than Lily Nefertari. So this is not my original theory, just putting it out there, but I do believe this theory, so I wanted to share it with you. And of course, if you never heard this theory from somebody else, welcome. Anyway, let's get right into today's video. So with today's video, we're discussing Imu Sama being Lily Nefertari. Now, it's the first thing that I thought of when I read the chapter, and all the pieces come together to kind of make sense. So, in the chapter, we get a lot of information about how the world government was actually formed, and we already knew this information previously, but it's kind of cool to get like a nice little recap of it. So, we have Koba Nefertari talking to the Gorosei, and basically, saying, let's start back from the beginning. 800 years ago, the 20 kingdoms came together to form the world government. Those 20 kingdoms then moved to Mary-Joie and had other royal families take over. That's why we don't really understand what royal family controlled what kingdom or what kingdom came from where. The only one we do know is obviously Doflamingo and the Don Quixote family because of the whole Dressrosa arc. So the Don Quixote family was originally in charge of Dressrosa. But when these 20 families came to Mary-Joie to form the world government and become celestial dragons and live in Mary-Joie together with all the other 20 royal families from the 20 kingdoms, the history is basically locked in place, and no other information was sent out, so that the families that live in those 20 kingdoms nowadays don't really know that those families originally ruled it. They just know that the celestial dragons live in Mary-Joie, and that so they know which 20 kingdoms formed the original government, but they don't know what families and those 20 kingdoms were a part of, if that makes sense. However, we do know that one kingdom did not follow the rules. One kingdom did not say, yes, I'm going to join you 20 kingdoms and Mary-Joie. And that was the Nefertari family, who is ruled over Alabasta. Still to this day, the Nefertari family with Koba. Koba Nefertari rules over Alabasta. So, when the creation of the world government was formed and the celestial dragons moved to Mary-Joie and the 20 kingdoms came together, well, 19 kingdoms came together, they created a empty throne. And this empty throne is supposed to symbolize that no one person is going to sit at the throne. We are all rulers together of this world. And they each stuck a sword or weapon or whatever, axe, whatever it may be, into the floor around this empty throne to symbolize, hey, I vow to this empty throne. I vow to this empty throne, and so on and so forth. So there are 19 swords and weapons around this throne that we can see. Obviously, the one that didn't put up there was Queen Lily Nefertari, who was the queen of Alabasta at the time 800 years ago. So obviously, this chapter is getting a little intense, and Cobra knows a little too much than what he actually should, so he's probably not going to survive, unfortunately. The girl says definitely like, yeah, you shouldn't know this information that you're telling us. We're probably going to kill you. Anyway, so Cobra continues saying that I have a letter from Lily Nefertari 800 years ago that was passed down from generation to generation in my family. Cobra basically goes through the history of how the government was created. He does mention, says, hey, I know for a fact that Lily Nefertari was the one kingdom that denied moving the marriage law. But do you know what happened to her? He's asking a question, and the way he asks it is kind of like, I think I know what happened, but why don't you tell me what happened to see what their thoughts are. So Cobra asks him, do you know what happened? No, as far as we know, she went back to Alabasta. What do you mean? We don't know exactly what the letter says, but you know, when he asked the girls, say like, what happened to Lily, they're like, well, we don't know, we just assume she went back to Alabasta, and her history and everything else just, oops, it's gone. And he goes, okay, well, what about the Will of D? And the girls say, like, well, why do you ask that? And he says, well, I have a letter that has been passed down from the Queen to generation to generation. So the girl says, like, then we cut to another scene, which is very important because this person is not in the room at all and comes into the room. So there's no way that this person can overhear what is going on. Just saying. But let's take a quick word from today's sponsor. Today's sponsor is brought to you by Mythical Meats. Mythical Meats is a jerky company which is themed after fantasy stuff, such as Dungeons and Dragons, or even Harry Potter. So if you're a Harry Potter fan like I am, I know I have a Disney shirt on, I'm talking about One Piece in today's video, but I am a Harry Potter fan. Believe me, I am a Harry Potter fan. I am. But don't worry about that. Today we're talking about Mythical Meats, which is a jerky company. Check this out. We got dragon jerky and centaur jerky. So yes, this is not actually dragon meat or centaur meat. The dragon jerky is actually a Cajun alligator, and the centaur is a camel jerky, which is so good, so good. But if you want a nice themed, you know, a fantasy themed snack, a Harry Potter themed snack for your friends and stuff like that, you know, at a party or whatever, or you know someone who's a Harry Potter fan or whatever, if you want some damn good jerky, go to mythicalmeats.com, and for a limited time use coupon code FANDOM and save yourself 10% off. So right now, go to mythicalmeats.com, go check out their page on Instagram and everywhere else. Go check them out. They're a great company and they have a great product, and honestly, great tasting jerky. Like, fantastic. So go to mythicalmeats.com, use coupon code FANDOM, and save yourself 10% off for a limited time only. Let's get back to today's video. So out of nowhere, we see Imu Sama walk into the throne room, and the girl says, whoa, Imu. Cobra's still present. Imu doesn't care. Imu just walks up to an empty throne, sits down in the throne, looks at Cobra and goes, Lily. Shh. Imu Sama wasn't in the room. I mean, you may know a lot of stuff because you're head of the world, the secret head of the world that people don't know except for the girls, say, and maybe the Holy Knights. But, you know, so if you know Cobra, you should know that Lily was the queen of Alabasta 800 years ago. But what if 800 years ago, when all those 20 kingdoms... Stop shaking. 800 years ago, when all those 20 kingdoms came together to form the world government, and 19 of them put down their swords on the empty throne, it was discussed that that person, no, I'm not joining. So, all the 19 families moved to Mary-Joie, but someone who was in charge at Mary-Joie, there had to be someone who created Mary-Joie. There had to be someone who brought these things together to create this kingdom on top of Edeline. There had been someone who was a litigator for the whole meeting to take place. These people didn't just take place, on some random island. Was Mary-Joie present during the Void Century? Was Mary-Joie there? Who was in charge of Mary-Joie? For all we know, Lily never left. They could have killed Lily, but I don't think so. What if Lily never left? They could have brainwashed Lily. They could have done something to her and made her into Imu Sama. For all we know, they gave her the immortal surgery from the Api Api no Mi that Law has. She could be immortal. She could be 800 years old, Imu Sama. She's in charge of everything. This could be Lily. So, when she sits down in the empty throne and she says Lily to Cobra, is she mentioning that, is she saying, Lily, bringing something back from her past, that she is Lily? Or is she just confronting Cobra, yeah, Lily, we need to talk about that? So, it's kind of twisted and it doesn't make a lot of sense, but Lily could be Imu Sama. The long lost queen of Alabaster could very well be Imu Sama, who now controls everything. So instead of 20 kingdoms to come together, 19 kingdoms now rule under one queen of Alabaster. Just say. And if we do see some other similarities between Lily and Imu Sama, it does make a lot of sense. We do see in the chapters when Imu Sama is at Mary-Joie looking at wanted posters, tears up Blackbeard, stabs Luffy's, but doesn't touch Vivi's. Could this be because Vivi looks so much like her great grandmother, Lily Nefertari? Very good possibility that she looks very similar to her. I'm not gonna say it again. Very similar to Lily Nefertari. So Imu Sama can be looking at it this is bringing back. This is bringing me back to this world I once knew when I was Lily Nefertari, Queen of Alabaster. And now I'm Imu Sama, ruler of the world. So could it be a brainwash thing, or could it be just a decision that was made 800 years ago, and maybe the families just kind of forgot as it trickled down through 800 years? Maybe those 20 kingdoms came together and they told the world 20 kingdoms came together and formed the world government. One kingdom decided not to return to Mary-Joie, and that was Alabaster. But in reality, they took that one queen of Alabaster and made it the ruler. So it looks like it's a democracy between these 20 kingdoms in charge of the world, but in reality, it's one. But I want to know is who put Lily in that position? Who created Imu Sama? How did this create? And I'm sure we're going to find out at some point. But make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and comment down below your thoughts on this. Do you think Imu Sama is Lily? If not, what do you think happened to Lily? And honestly, how was Imu Sama created, and how long ago was Imu Sama created? Has Imu Sama been there for 800 years? Has that position been there for 800 years? You know, at some point, did the world government actually come together with the 19 kingdoms and whatever when Nefertari happened? And then maybe like 400 years after that, the whole Imu Sama thing came to existence? We don't know the full story, but comment down below your thoughts, because I'd love to hear it. And thank you guys so much for watching. So before I go, make sure you check out this One Piece video right here, and make sure you check out that video down there. And I do have some merch. Check out the merch store down below. And like I said, go to mythicalmeats.com, use coupon code FANDOM, and save yourself 10% off on your order today. And I'll see you guys next time.